Smart Grey.
And thanks so much for your company tonight. Well, we're on the verge of something new, something exciting, something brand new, in fact, in the genre of sci-fi. And being Friday night, it's a good thing to talk about, but some of it's happening over this weekend. We have the Supanova event that's been happening in Adelaide this week. It's coming to Brisbane next week. So there's a lot of sci-fi stuff going on. I must confess, it's probably one of the big schisms between my wife and I is she doesn't fully understand Star Wars or Star Trek or any of that, and Stargate and all those things completely lose her. So she'll be making a cup of tea, maybe, but Aaron Cootes is an Australian who's taken 20 years to write a series of books which has now got Hollywood talking. You've even got the King's wife playing a role. He joins us. Great to have you on the program, Aaron. Congratulations.
Great to be here, Gary. Thank you so much for having me.
So tell me all about Almythea, the rise of Wingtar. Automatically I'm somewhat interested, but you've got a whole lot of attention being poured on you. There's pressure, 20 years of development, 20 years to get this right? Holy Gene Roddenberry, how'd you do that?
Yeah, it's an epic fantasy sci-fi adventure. There's 6 books in the series. This is the first one. But yeah, basically, in a world ruled by evil, it takes an outcast to save the people from slavery. So
I love it.
That's
I love it.
Friendships are tested, loyalties are strained, but in the end, love conquers all.
But I mean, is that the point, Aaron? I mean, the thing I like about sci-fi is there's a moral code in amongst all of that. Yeah, there's gadgetry and there's stuff and there's imagining and there's other worlds and all this sort of stuff. But there is a moral code. I mean, it was always through the Star Trek series. You think about Star Trek, just go back to that, the 60s, the original stuff. We had all these odd-looking people from all sorts of odd planets all around the world, and yet they all found reasons to get on with each other. This was the most, culturally diverse program you could imagine.
Yeah,
it was sci-fi.
Absolutely, and I learned so much from a little guy called Yoda. He taught me some great morals as well from Star Wars. But it's again in this story too. It's loosely based on my experiences in my life. I first wrote my first book. I co-authored with a friend of mine, Greg Wilson. He was a very talented artist. He became my best mate, my flatmate, and in 2002 we set up his own art gallery in the Hunter Valley. And he actually had bipolar disorder. He was diagnosed with that in his late teens. So we actually co-authored his book, My Brush with Depression, to sort of help people who might be suffering from a similar situation. But yeah, sadly Greg passed away this year, but a lot of the stories and the adventures that we had together, they come through in Almythea. He certainly taught me that love and laughter are the best parts of any story.
Well, okay, and I hear the story of Greg is very poignant. It's hard on you because you lived and breathed so much of your mateship, and so Almythea, I guess the emphasis on myth. So there's fantasy and all of that sort of thing in there. But where does this journey take us over 6 books? You're not going to give it all away, I know, but the journey is about one person making a difference to the good does triumph over evil, those sorts of moral codes?
Yeah, that's it. That's exactly right. There's several themes throughout the book, but probably the biggest one of them all is that if you want to find success and happiness in your life, you really need the support of friends, family, and a faith in something bigger than ourselves. So that's probably, to sum it up in a nutshell. But there's different themes, like there's the Badlands in Almythea, where the evil whisperers sort of feed negativity into the minds, and it's about sort of rising above that, not letting the self-doubt get to you, really finding sort of self-strength to carry on as well. That's another theme that comes through quite strongly.
So borrowing from your own life, putting it into this kind of space, this genre, you have, as I said, it took 20 years, but you've got some big names that are getting involved in this thing. Hollywood is talking about it. I mean, there's a bit of hype there, I guess, but they say it's the next big franchise. I mean, there's been some big franchises in this space, so this is pretty big pressure on you.
Yeah, it's very humbling. I've got a great friend and mentor on the Gold Coast, Lynn Sander, and she's very well connected with Hollywood. She's sort of been the bridge to some big stars. She knows Priscilla Presley. We've got Cliff Simon, who is, for those who know Stargate, he's Lord Barr from Stargate. He's actually coming out to help promote the book. He arrived in Australia a couple of days ago. I'll meet him tomorrow. I'm very excited to meet him. and then we've got a few events we're going to go and launch the book together. So it's coming together. Probably I was very excited early on to speak with a producer and director called Bruce Logan. He's kind of Hollywood royalty. He's worked on Tron, 2001: Space Odyssey, and my favourite movie of all, he worked on Star Wars as well. His job was to blow up the Death Star. So to speak with him and sort of collaborate with him has been really exciting. And we've got another writer, Steve Finlay, as well, who's he just keeps winning awards in Hollywood. He's working on the script as well. So it's exciting times.
Well, this is sort of out as well in every possible way. I mean, Aaron, what's happening on the weekend? You've got a launch, it's a sort of soft launch, I suppose, but there's a charity aspect to it. You want people to come dressed up as their favourite sci-fi thing. Put the big plug out there.
Yeah, we've got a book launch on November the 7th at the Quality Inn. That's on the Gold Coast at Mermaid Waters. It's 6:30. You can come dressed as your favourite character. Cliff's going to award the best dress, so for Stargate fans, that'll be sensational. And then we're also appearing at Supanova as well on November the 8th to the 10th. We've got a stall there. Cliff's going to be there signing his book. I'll be there as well. So yeah, we invite everyone to come down and have a chat with us and say hello.
Well, mate, congratulations on where it's got to so far, but we'll all look out for where Almythea takes you and takes us. The next big thing, that's the promise. I love it that an Australian has put the effort in and you've got some results coming your way. Well done.
Yeah, thank you, Gary. I appreciate it.
Excellent. All right, Aaron Cootes, you heard it first here. That's the exciting part about all of that, if you like a bit of sci-fi. Speaking of out of the world